Hello everyone and welcome to the Hard to Bear Speedrun Guide. In this guide, I will show you every little thing you need to know in order to get your time under 26 seconds. I will show you the strategies and setups that I use in order to get my time as low as possible. And with that, let's go ahead and get started. We will be using the symbols that the bear has in order to change certain aspects of the stage so that way we can clear it as quickly as possible. One important thing to note is that you have to hold both of the trigger buttons for about 5 frames in order to make sure that the symbols crash against each other. If you try to just tap the triggers, you will notice that the bear will not actually bring them all the way together to make the crashing sound. Instead, they will just bring them in a little bit and then pull them back away. In order to minimize missed symbol crashes and to make it more consistent, one thing I suggest is to hold down one trigger throughout the entire duration of the run, and then just hit the other one whenever you need it in order to do a crash with the symbols. As you can see in my run, I hold down the left trigger the entire time, and then I use the right trigger whenever I need to make the crash with the symbols. If you do not like using the triggers in order to do the crashing with the symbols, you can change these controls. All you have to do is go to your system settings, go down to accessibility, go down to your controllers, go to custom button assignments for DualSense wireless controller, and then you want to enable this option and then go down to customize your button assignments. I personally like to just change the L2 to L1 and the R2 to R1, but you can make them whatever you want and whatever makes it more comfortable for you. At the beginning of the stage, there is a large gap we need to cross and a zip line directly across from us. So the idea is to run in as straight of a line as we possibly can in order to save as much time as possible. Some runners go on the left side. I choose to go on the right side because of the way that the zip line is angled. Since it's angled slightly to the right, it seems that you can jump on it just slightly faster than if you go on the left side. This seems to save maybe about a frame or two, but it's definitely an easy frame to pick up and I highly recommend it. If you are going to go left side, all you need to do is just make sure you start far enough left so that way you can land on the edge of this green platform as it comes from the left side. If you choose to start from the right side, you need to make sure to do a clap before the stage actually begins so that way this green block will actually come from the right side instead of the left. As I said before, we want to go in as straight of a line as possible, so whichever side you want that block to come from, you want to make sure that you start as far on that side from the starting ribbon as you possibly can. Once you break through the ribbon, you need to run in as straight of a line as possible, and you need to do a very well-timed jump, mid-air spin, and a hover to make sure that you don't fall down to your death. Whenever you land on this green platform, you want to immediately jump again, do another mid-air spin, and then a hover. And as you're getting closer to the spinning top, just before the zip line, make sure to do a clap to get rid of it. I usually time my clap whenever Astro is at the top of his hover. And now we want to drop just after this platform, and if you notice, Astro will actually kind of slide over on top of the zip line even though you actually didn't land on it. We're going to use this to our advantage, that way we can keep that straight consistent line and we can land on the zip line as soon as possible. If you try to land directly on top of the zip line, you'll notice you actually have to go out a little farther because this rounded platform goes out toward the zip line a little more. And because of that, what that would mean is that we would have to actually jump a little farther in order to land on the zip line. Whereas if we just go slightly to the side of it, since the rounded edge is coming toward us a little bit, that means we can drop sooner and attach to the zip line even faster. The visual cue I like to look for in order to hit this consistently as fast as possible is I look at Astro's lasers on the ground actually. And whenever I see them start coming across this platform, that is whenever I choose to release the hover. And then that is whenever you will drop just barely off the edge of this platform, and then you will attach to the zip line. Once you have attached to the zip line, you need to take it all the way down and then do a clap and a small jump to land on this trampoline. You do not have to be extremely accurate with this in order to save as much time as possible. You just want to make sure that you're not landing at the very front of the trampoline, or you might start costing yourself a few frames. Even if you land somewhat in the middle of the trampoline, you'll still be pretty okay and you shouldn't lose any time. What I like to look for is as I'm going down this zip line, I look at the coins that I'm picking up, and as soon as I pick up the very last coin on the zip line, that is whenever I choose to do the clap with the symbols to get rid of this spinning top, and then I do a small jump immediately after that. Once you have hit the trampoline, you will be up here where these falling platforms are, an electric enemy, and then you will notice there are these rolling hexagonal platforms going across. We want these green hexagonal platforms appearing from the right side instead of the left. So what you need to do is just before you land on these orange falling platforms, you need to do a clap with the symbols in order to make sure that those will change direction for us. As you are going across these falling orange platforms, you want to slightly tilt your left stick to the right as you are holding it forward. And this is to get a better line on these green hexagonal platforms as they are coming back across. and you want to jump from this last orange platform section, and you want to skip the first green hexagonal platform and actually go to the second one. This is the farthest platform that we can land on, and just before you land on it, you want to make sure to do a clap to make it start going to the right. This next section is very important and will save you quite a bit of frames if done correctly. As you make your way across these green hexagonal platforms, if you notice my left stick is not tilted to the right slightly anymore, but instead straightened up. This is very important because going in a straight line will save you as much time as you possibly can. So the idea is to stay on these green hexagonal platforms and let them, since they are already rolling to the right, take us to the right side that we need to be on, and we will go in a straight line in order to get to the end of the last hexagonal platform as quickly as possible. When you are on this last green hexagonal platform, if it can be helped, try to not get to where there is an actual point on it, but instead where there is a flat section. I'm not exactly sure why, but if you're on the point of it, it seems you will most likely be pushed into this electric wall, whereas on a flat section, you can actually get a little closer to that electric wall without actually being zapped. Once you've made your way across those, you will need to do a jump and a hover toward this trampoline, and you want to try to land on the leftmost frontmost side of this trampoline, so ideally shoot for this front left corner. The reason you want to do this is we want to go in as straight of a line as possible, as we always do, and going for this corner will save us as much time as we possibly can. After you land on that trampoline, don't turn left immediately or you may run into these electric enemies. Instead, hesitate for a slight moment and then go left to get over them, and we just need to make sure that we hit the leftmost side of this trampoline, and then you need to do a clap as you are going up in order to break this wall. You will be going down a long slide, and the main reason we need to be on the left side is because that's the direction we're going to go after we get to the bottom of this slide. Now, one thing is important is that whenever you get on this slide, do not try to do any adjustments to the left or right. This will hurt your chances to get the best slide jump as you possibly can. Instead, whenever you are on it, just make sure that you keep going straight, and then whenever you get to the end, you need to do a very well-timed jump. And the very interesting thing is that you can actually do the jump with Astro after Astro is actually already off the slide. If this was timed well enough, you'll notice that Astro will get a huge momentum forward and a big jump, and then you will also skip this rope and not latch onto it. When you do get this jump, make sure to do a midair spin and a hover, and also to do a clap with the bear to make this platform shoot out in front of you so you can land on it. If you did all this correctly, as soon as you land on it, you should be able to immediately go to the left, and you need to do a very well-timed midair spin, hover, and clap to land on this next platform. You need to land on the leftmost side of this platform to save as much time as possible, and you will notice that there is also a pumpkin enemy coming out. There are a few ways to handle this. The way I like to do is I like to do a full jump, and then do a midair spin at the bottom of my jump, and you will barely hit this pumpkin enemy, which is exactly what you want. This will allow us to start doing a jump and a hover to get on top of this electric panel as soon as we possibly can. After you destroy this enemy, you will need to make sure to do a clap with the bear in order to bring out this electric panel so you can land on it. So in short, after you land on this platform that comes up from the bottom, you need to do a full jump, and then at the bottom do a midair spin to destroy the pumpkin. And after you destroy the pumpkin, make sure to do a clap with the bear to bring out this electric platform, and then you can do your jump and your hover to land on top of it. As soon as you land on top of this electric panel, immediately do a small jump. Do not do a full jump. If you do a small jump, you can immediately land on top of this green wall, and then you can do another small jump and land on top of this trampoline to your right. There are two ways to end this stage. There is an easy way and then a very difficult way. The more you practice the more difficult way and get more comfortable with it, you will find that hitting it is actually a lot easier than it seems. The normal way is just to land on top of this big trampoline at the end, do a clap, and then finish the stage. The more difficult way is to try to land on this platform as it is spinning around. This platform will spin around clockwise, so in order to finish the stage, we need to make sure that we go on the left side, and the left side is more optimal for us anyways because we're going to be landing on this small trampoline on the left side as well. After you bounce on this small trampoline, you need to make sure to do a well-timed midair spin and a hover and a clap as well in order to get flipped on top of the platform to end the stage. This will take quite a bit of practice, and I will give you some tips on more common mistakes that I've made and I've seen others make when trying to learn this. So one of the biggest mistakes I've seen is that people actually do the midair spin slightly too early. You actually have to time this way later than you're thinking whenever you are going for this ending. Another mistake I've seen is that some people will actually start the hover too early after doing the midair spin. You should almost be on top of where the spikes are on the green platform where the ending platform is. If you find that Astro's body is only halfway above it, then that probably means that you're either doing your midair spin or your hover a little too early. If you do the clap and then you find that Astro gets hung on this green ledge, or that he actually does a ledge climb, then that means that you are getting the correct height, but the timing of your clap is wrong, or you're actually in the incorrect spot. If you notice when this final platform flips, that there is actually a certain space that you cannot be in. If you are inside this line, then you will never be able to finish the stage with this. You actually need to go a little more left. Note that you can actually go pretty far left and get a pretty generous amount of time to end it, but the more you go left, the more time you will lose. So try to be as close to the middle as you can without actually destroying your chances of being able to finish the stage. The visual marker I like to use is just to the left of this eye. You will notice there is a black line that goes up and down. This is a pretty good one to shoot for, but sometimes it's kind of hard to see. So instead, what I've started doing is I look at Astro's lasers. Whenever it is between these two bolts on the trampoline, that is whenever I know I'm in the correct spot in order to do the clap. And when these lasers drop, that is whenever I choose to do the clap, and this makes it a lot easier for me to time and to consistently get this ending. There is one extra little trick I want to show you that no one has mastered yet. This is called the star jump. And what you do is that you land on the star, doing a clap or a hover, and it boosts you up, and then you can get on top of this trampoline a lot faster. Many of us have tried, some of us have gotten it randomly, but none of us know how to consistently hit it, and none of us have ever been able to pull it off in a complete run. And as always, here is a run with me doing all of these strategies. Thank you for watching this video. I really hope this tutorial helps you, and I just want to take a moment and appreciate and say thank you to everyone who supports this channel, to the Astrobot Discord community, basically everyone who helps make these videos possible. And if you want to catch me doing some of these runs live, be sure to catch me over on my Twitch channel at Xeilius. At the moment, I am still doing streaming on YouTube, but I might be stopping that pretty soon because it's giving me a lot of issues with my restreaming software. So make sure you follow my Twitch channel so that way you do not miss a live stream. Again, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video, and good luck with your runs.